to Higurashi when they cry. The last thing we did in our story so far was rescue Colonel Sanders from the dump. And we did so by covering him in a tarp while one of us was carrying a hatchet in the middle of the twilight. Hello, hello. And so it's a bit odd, but nothing unwholesome, I guess. I'm guessing. We'll find out. And that was hence the name of the title. You can't kidnap a statue. Well, you can, but yeah. Anyway. How was it, Kei-chan? So, you went to Renaissance House. Wasn't it amazing? It's nothing like that, right? Right? Unlike my house, the Ryugu residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. There, it was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities. They were all the same as Colonel Randy, the stuff you'd see while walking around in town. The cake shop's mascot, Little Licky, the Totemon in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. I'll agree with you that those are cute. But why the mailbox? Won't you get in trouble for that one? But, so cute. She must have just thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better. Just as long as it's big. And her room displays the smaller ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement. Yep, I'll keep anything. Cute. So she takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. Hey, Rena. You know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Is that cute? Yeah, cute. I want it. I should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. Well, it's already been taken once already. And just get some weird pink goo sprayed all over and the statue will start walking to the beat. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika-chan had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? Was your house being attacked by a comet? How rude. Rika isn't a hoodlum like Keiichi-san. Nothing like that, Keiichi-kun. Rika-chan is a member of the festival committee. Really? Festival? The school cultural festival or something? Kei-chan, I already told you. It's the village festival. The Watanagashi. Well, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So, what's this Watanagashi thing about? Is it like a floating lantern festival? I guess the last part where you set things adrift in a river is similar. Except we use cotton things like old worn out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for their years of service. Well, that's interesting. The people living in Hinamizawa dumped their futons and padded cloaks in a stream? It sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up to the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I can smell it already. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Keiichi-san's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What? How could you allow us thinking something silly? Look on your face, maybe? It was written all over your face. What sort of face could have expressed what I'd imagined just now? Rena demonstrated for me. I see. No argument here. It's nothing fun like that, you see. But you should still look forward to it. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. I don't really like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going. You won't get bored. We're doing it again this year. Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What was this all about? From the way Mion looked, it was probably our club's summer tradition. The Watanagashi 4-demon firefight. That sounds awful. What kind of name is that? I think it's a cute name, though. I tried to object sharply, but since Rena looked happy about it, I decided it was pointless to fight it. Since Keiichi is here this year, it becomes 5 demons. Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence. So, how does this funky-sounding club activity tie into the festival? This is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities. Been here 3 days, man. Exactly. We show the full extent of the abilities that the best of the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations. But last year, the mayor got angry, so we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time. So, basically, we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika-chan really is the only one who explains things so they make sense. I see. So we'll be exhibiting on those busy festival grounds. Rena was right. Of course that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry. Yeah, just a bit. But it's lots of fun. That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be, without question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nah. Our voices rang out in unison. When there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. I have, all the way up to, Diamond is Unbreakable. That show is bizarre. This really is the most basic of table games. Alright, welcome. I got 386. Playing with the marked deck again? We'll use the new one today. There are no marks on the cards, so we're on equal footing. I wonder if that really is the case. I will have to inspect them. Well, that was fair, just to be safe. Everyone checked the cards. Yes, these seem to be fine. Are you all satisfied? Then today, I guess we'll play President. That's good for 5 people. I've heard of that game. I think I may have seen people play it once. Another standard card game. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. The basic rules. Play a better card than the one before. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well. The name, for example. In my hometown, we called it millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. Are the jokers wild? Can you make a reversal with 3 threes? No jokers. 2 is the highest. You can reverse a reversal. You can only make a reversal with 4 of a kind, not 3. Also, you know how the peasant sounds? Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? None of that. While I was confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look like more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's President, and it's with a new deck. Today, I might be able to win. I had the gist of the rules now, but that wasn't everything, was it? So, what shall today's penalty be? About that. Why don't we all write something down on slips of paper, and have the loser draw one? Oh, that seemed like it could be interesting. I'll write a nasty one and have Geichi-san draw it. It would be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself. Just don't lose. Don't you know best? Mion handed out several slips of paper to everybody. And write down whatever and put it in this bag. When you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? I'm already thinking of a few little tricks for this whole scenario. Worst case scenario, you draw what you wrote. That's not worst case scenario. That's no. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave. No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being written down. Rika-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to launch to a sudden halt. Ah, that's so sneaky, Mion-san. She wrote no penalty and the corner of the slip is folded. See? I see. Just in case you lost, just grab the note with the folded corner and you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika-chan is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't underestimate her, even though she doesn't stand out. Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean, okay? Nobody agreed to Rena's proposal. Everyone was ruthless. Because of course they are. It's fine, Rena. Just don't lose. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try hard so everyone has to pick the penalty I write. Rena was quite brutal, even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her, either. I agree with that. I'm very curious what Rena's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary. I still didn't know what Rika-chan's penalties would be like. Basically, you can't afford to lose this game. Everybody here already? We all nodded determinedly. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. Not needing Mion to tell them, both Rika-chan and Satoko played the cards without hesitation. Rena and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Rena genuinely didn't make up her mind, but I was different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to strike. Will this work? Then I'll play this 3 and I'm out. 9. Nobody? 8? 7. I'm out? 5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one, and I'm out. Ugh, I missed my chance. The loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion. And now I was certain. Today, I could win. Skeptical, man. Stay skeptical. Now then. Mita, pull out one of those slips, okay? Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper. But who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked. What is it? What is it? Huh? Rena was also surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head. Hey, wait. How is this bad? Keiichi-san, do you not understand? The principal is ashamed of his thinning hair. Satoko yelled with a serious look on her face. Well, she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be? The principal is a martial arts master. He boasts about traveling around the world, perfecting his skills when he was younger. What the hell kind of principal is this? He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war. He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head? As the club president, there's no way I can set a bad example by refusing. Oh yeah! She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off down the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak out quietly and try and do it without making a fuss? Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs just by sensing their presence. I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. Kapow! A rumble shook the classroom. The principal's special launcher move just started. Zing-ga-boom! Such perfect flow and combo? He's even using followers to KO'd opponent. That's Jeet Gunado, right? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nothing I could do now except stay calm. I understood now why there were no delinquents at this school. Yeah, that would be quite fair. After a few moments of silence, Mion slumped back to us. Petted. Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing. She's alive, at least. Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed the person who made club activities like these could say that. Become famous? Totally, man. Absolutely. Let me just go there right now. But now, the worst penalty is gone now, right? Right? Rena tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You'll all get yours. The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace, 3, 4, 5, I'm out. I'm out as well. I'm out too. 3, I am now out. I lost. And the heavens chose to vanquish Rena. Class activities are always hilarious. Yeah, it's always definitely something. Club. Well, it's a different kind of class. Club of Hard Knocks, I guess. What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder? It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so, the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid. Huh? What is this? This one... What do I need to do? So basically, it means you have to use the same expression as a maid? Oh. Okay, master. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome. Then Rena, can you shuffle the cards and deal? Yes, master. I could just die right now. Anyway, let's continue. Right, Rena? Yes, master. The eagerness to which I was goading Rena into addressing me as master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself. Don't get cocky, man. Oh yeah. I won't lose anymore. I'm out. I shan't lose either. I'm out. None of that. I'm out too. I can't believe it. Is it Rena's lost again? Rena again. What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction. Remove one item of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. That's just indecent. Who could have written this? My face reddened in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize. That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good. What was I thinking about was written on my face? Oh, Mi-chan. Rena begged Mion with teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already. Nope, nope. Won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man. Understood, master. I'll undress. What? I looked around, thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Because of course not. Then I heard the rustling of clothing, the sound of her skirt hitting the ground, sent my heart racing. Is this fine, master? I looked away like a gentleman. But these club activities seem to be ruthless after all. Apparently. Oh. Keiichi-san, whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not have her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Satoko poked fun at me, but right now I can't hear it. Not bad, Kei-chan. This old man never even thought you would go after her like that. You've got it wrong. I didn't write that one. Master didn't write this one? Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me not to feel anything. To not feel anything. Okay, calm down, Keiichi Maibara. Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked. You can't fall for a trap after knowing it's a trap. You still can. Clear your head. Calm down and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this. And the answer was quite simple. I win! I then become a god! I, who had already entered the domain of godhood, what would dare stand in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up bases and twos like nobody's business. How could my look at the draw be so bad? Satoko lost, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister. Fine, Oni-chan. Yes. The pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. This'll bad loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Wear a girl's school swimsuit. Oh. That's the one I wanted Kei-chan to get. Yes. Mion's despair was like sweet honey. But, master, I lost again. Rena lost? I'll draw it for you. Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. Oh, this is in this outfit, master? I'm sensing a big fall from his high tower. Yeah, she's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs. Yeah. Oni-chan, you're too good. Satoko lost again? I'll draw it. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage? Fine, Oni-chan. Come on, do it a bit harder. Don't use your nails. Hey. This is just headed for disaster and I know it. I had transformed into an evil dictator and couldn't be doing any better. It felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind, and even decide what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Rena, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Satoko was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mian was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. Do they actually have sprites for this? Today is Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it? Please refrain from moving your head around so much. I began to think. Why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams? What is it, Keiichi? I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no end to his desires. That was it? Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last. Keiichi is quite greedy. It said you should know when enough is enough. I know that very well. But how to say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died now. Master, please refrain from moving your head around. You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged. Rika-chan said it in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. This was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Oh, they did. Go, Rika-chan, go! Take him out! Defeat this archdevil of perversion. I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl who's always hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude not to meet her head on. Bet I know what the punishment is. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mian swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but pretended I didn't see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with just that? 2. Ace, ace, ace. 8, 8, 8, 8. Reversal. Everybody looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. The 4 of them have allied against me. That's it. You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal, reversal. What? How could such a thing be? Satoko let out a shriek. You simpletons. Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Finally, you fall into my clutches. Now I'll pick one out. Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail. Even the penalties were as I wished. You don't think something's a bit strange here, buddy? Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. It's questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but since I had no objections, I didn't ask. Oh, this was so... it felt like I'd become Rena. This was definitely cute. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it? I want to take her home. That wasn't me talking, that was the actual Rena. Me. As Rika-chan mimicked a cat, teary-eyed, rings of smoke escaped from Rena's ears with an audible poof. Rika-chan, let's take home. Taking her home. Just for a while. I won't do anything strange. Nothing strange. I see. I still have one trick left. Mian gasped and dropped her fist into her open palm. If Rena must, she could take me home. If Rena-san beats Keiichi-san, she can. They thought that Rena in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I teach them their place. Right. How preposterous. That Rena can't defeat me. For a moment, I didn't know what was going on. The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Rena's hands like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Rena's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we, Kichi-kun? Hurry, hurry! My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose. Yep. No play? Nothing to play, Kei-chan? And with this, I'm out. Everyone cheered. I was spent. I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. Keiichi-san's penalty? This is it? Everybody peeked at it in unison, gazes flickering between the text and my face. All day today, I did as I pleased. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? All. Huh? I knew it. Every penalty up until now. But what the heck? I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, they wouldn't just lose all the way like that. Keiichi-san, should you not be speaking like a little brother? Yes, Onei-chan. Oh, this is quite addicting. Next, I'll have you rub my shoulders. Keiichi-kun, I don't need the lap pillow, so do that the other one, okay? Yes, master. Keiichi-kun, that's so cute. Say it again, say it again. Please spare me, master. Rena passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from this old man. I'm gonna have you fan me for a good long while, you know? All the punishments, right. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to wear this, don't you? The school swimsuit. This is for girls! Can't I wear the one for boys? It was clearly written here, wear a girl's school swimsuit. As you can see, Satoko was like a loan shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible was pretty adorable, if I do say so myself. This school swimsuit am I gonna wear? If I was wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? Ah, this old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. Think of it as a little benefit. I'm not that in shape. I think even Kei-chan can fit into it. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. My first thought, it's tied around the waist. Second thought, chest area was pretty loose. Don't make me elaborate anymore. Fair enough. Keiichi-kun is so cute, cute. They'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail. Kei-chan, wanna look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. It's probably best if you look. The stern, scientific, calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary. I would like to respectfully decline, Master. Your ensemble is complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Then, is this enough? I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders, and Rigi-chan slipped up behind me without a sound. Not yet, Keiichi. There's still the first penalty left. In this get-up? Riki-chan patted my head without saying a word. Sir, excuse me. Yes, please come in. I stepped forward in the principal's office. My bell collar jingled adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office. Though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail, and for it to be a young male student, without a doubt any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act after confirming this is human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in these moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. That was my one and only chance for victory. My penalty, rubbing the principal's head. Principal! I challenge you! A zizzing sound echoed loudly. He went straight for the special move? The principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? And in a heartbeat. Boom. That tremor resounded throughout the Hinamizawan twilight. Higurashi, when they cry. Welcome to Hinamizawa. What does it mean to be a man? Keiji came pretty close in his own viewpoint, I guess. Rena was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home. Man, that was intense. I didn't know Kei-chan was so good at President. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. But still, it was pretty bad. Being carried off on a stretcher in that outfit will probably haunt me until the day I die. But that's fine, isn't it? You're able to do something to boast about for the ages too. Well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Oh, we meet again, Keiji-kun. What are you doing here, man? You just kind of just appear. It was Tomitaki-san. It felt like I'd been running into him quite often. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitaki-san suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear. You sure get around. Today you already have a different girl? It's not like that. No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitaki-san let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew that we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitaki isn't doing so badly himself, hmm? No, that wasn't my intention. Sure, sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya, bye-bye. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitaki-san quite well. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Watanagashi? Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography, after all. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in the 30s? Well, maybe looking forward to it. What does it matter what you taste like? That's so gross. Well, look at the time. I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark. Tomitaki-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. Bye-bye. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitaki-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi. The way he's going, he probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opened up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So, you know Tomitaki-san. Yeah, he's an acquaintance of sorts. But you know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. Sounded like you meet him all the time. Tomitaki-san comes around Hinamizawa regularly. Maybe 2-3 times a year? He says he's taking pictures of the seasonal scenery and wild birds. But, well, those photos really are nothing to phone home about. The image Mion painted of Tomitaki-san was fairly unique. The Tomitaki-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, why do you say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like about that incident, the dismemberment. No? You too? If so, you've got good instincts, Kei-chan. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it. You knew about it then, Mio? Of course. He might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. It felt like all apprehensions I had about Tomitaki-san disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. What is it, Kei-chan? It's just that I never thought the cries of the Higurashi could feel this good. What's gotten into you all of a sudden, Kei-chan? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Reina is doing. I bet she's getting her fill of Rika-chan by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It would be great if she's able to take her home. I wonder. Rika-chan's pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head-petting penalty was probably from Rika-chan. I thought so too. The only one who can get away with petting his head is Rika-chan, after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Higurashi when they cry. Welcome to Hinamizawa. New tips unlocked. Community notice. A fate worse than death. maybe. View new tips. Community notice. We're greeting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Watanagashi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of this town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bazaar goods. Villagers are welcome to put their wares on show at the well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition. Anything is welcome, from unconsumed gifts to used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management, Makino, telephone, XXX. Recruiting Little Festival drum dancers. The renowned Little Festival drum dancers, group known for its careful choreography, the Shofu Society is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any Showboat elementary and middle schoolers. Management, Kimiyoshi, telephone, XXX. 3. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of 1,000 yen. For every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be awarded a refreshment stand ticket. Management, Sonozaki, telephone, XXX. We are always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi at XXX. There is a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. Well, isn't that lovely? Alright. On to the next day, and what bizarre adventures we'll get into now. A few days have passed since the incident. Which incident? During that time, either Mion was busy, or Reika-chan had help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. It's a pond. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Watanagashi 5 Demon Firefight, and it was one of the biggest events in the club. Keiichi, does this yukata still fit you? Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled out an old, dusty yukata. No, I don't need a yukata. Those are embarrassing. I'll just go in my normal clothes. But this is a festival. Wear it, okay? Ren and the others said regular clothes are just fine. If I was the only one wearing a yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. I put on the same old vest as usual. I'll be going with Ren and the others, so you don't need to worry about me. Is that so? I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa. From how it looks, he must have pulled an all-nighter last night. He just finished sending in his manuscript, so he might not wake up for a while. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. I've never read it though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. As his son, it's a bit strange for me to say, but I can't imagine he's selling all that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. I'm guessing you're not counting the club. Maybe he's actually a master painter and I just never knew it. Ding dong, ping pong. Keiichi-kun, are you home? Uh-oh, it's already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside. Oh my, it's Renta-chan. Thank you for always looking after Keiichi. Ma'am, he's also been looking out for... Why are you blushing just from meeting my mom? Don't get all flustered. This feels so awkward. Let's go, Rena. Since Rena would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out. Rena-chan, look after Keiichi for me. Yes, ma'am. Even if it means I must sacrifice myself. Then why don't you do it right now? She waved back even as I was dragging her away. I can just picture she's just being drugged by the arm, the heels dragging the dirt, and that stupid smile just waving at his mom. Okay, hey Chan. You hungry today? We'll take care of that at these stalls. You thought I'd let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls? Wouldn't have it any other way. Where are Reika-chan and Satoko? Are they already at the temple? Yep. Reika-chan's a festival committee member after all. Satoko-chan is probably with her as well. I see. Alright. Let's make some noise today. Yeah. We were already in high spirits with just the 3 of us there. It was way more lively at the Furude Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable. Good. There sure are lots of people here. I can't believe they all live in Hinamizawa. Everybody attends the Watanagashi. I think about half the village is here. It's not just that. Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well. That's right. There aren't that many students at our school. But there's a lot of kids here today. It just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around, after all. That's true, I agree. Hello, and good evening. These two knew everybody we came across. Of course, I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everybody yet. Oh, Rena-chan. Thanks for the food you brought me a while back. My son loved it. He said it was delicious. It was nothing at all. I'm glad he liked it. Say hello to Kazumasa-san-kun for me, please. Hey, never isn't Sonozaki or Joe-chan. I'm in charge of standing in this year, so make sure you come visit. Pops, have you gotten fatter? You'll end up having a heart attack with a gut like that. Oh, this kid here is new. Are you one of her underclassmen? He's one of my members. An upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night. You've got little Missy's seal of approval, I see. Hope you take it easy on me. As you can imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls. Mi-chan is really energetic, after all. She's really popular with the older men. I think Rena's pretty popular too, being cute and all. That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute. I'm popular with some people? Really? Really? With some people. I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tussling her hair. The stall keepers came all the way from town. It's not really a festival without them, after all. So, we're gonna mess with them now? I don't care what kind of match it is. I'm gonna win it. Really, man? Oh, yes. I'll try too. Has Keiichi actually legitimately won anything yet? Yeah, I think he's lost everything except what they allowed him to win so far. Hey, you're all very late. It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi-san. Oh, my bad. So, where's this lady I've kept waiting? What did you just say? Alright. Nodoko was in top form as well. Seemed she was all excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while. Rika-chan. Cute. Rena let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Keiichi as well. Ooh, looking good. You're looking sharp again this year. Cute. Gonna take you home. Rika-chan was wearing a shrine maiden outfit. Yep. Rena's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika-chan's clothes sure look like the real deal. Is that a real shrine maiden outfit? My grandfather made them by hand. They're quite authentic. Cool. Rika-chan has an important role to play at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals for the festival. My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a while. So we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin. Alright. When this music starts playing, you know nothing good is going to come from it. It felt good to wander around the festival with just the 5 of us. Mian called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race. Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go. A standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. The heat burns! Are you okay, Keiichi-kun? Have some water. My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones that have been left there for a while. They really don't taste good. The stall next to it was the shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter. Let's do shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready, go. It's shaved ice eating race. I can't. As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then. It's so cold. Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head-on was their downfall. Finished! Keiichi-chan is done? That was too fast. It couldn't be. Keiichi-kun, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you? That can't taste very good. But I won. Whatever means necessary. Next to that was another old favorite, a cotton candy stand. I've seen some people speed eat this stuff. It's crazy. And quite logical, too. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly? How? There's a very specific trick for it. On Satoko's mark, Mion, Satoko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths? 3 seconds. I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too. I can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I? It won't taste very good. Rika-chan had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rena's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. But it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest or human water pump at the goldfish scoop. Not the right things were going. This old man will probably still win too. I am simply no match for Mion-san when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii topped yakisoba eating contest? What the hell even is that? Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison. Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we? Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Rena. I'll let you pick the next game. Anything is fine. Well then. I'm gonna be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Rena likes. Alright. I think I can win with that. No? Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Why not? I knew it. My first thought, Rika-chan. Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were. Could it be you've already found it? The cute thing? We've already found it. Keiichi too? Yeah. What is it? What is it? I can't wait. Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head to head like this. It will be the first. Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh? I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms. Okay then, let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, Me-chan. Too bad, you guys. I'm ending this now. This old man brought this. Where did she get those? They were old, diamond-shaped tin signs. Bleb curry, snake coil incense, nostalgic tin signs from the old days. How about this? That's very understated. A little too understated, Mion. I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? Rena. But there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Rena's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. It is this. It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rena's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons. Those were nothing but mass-produced signs, after all. They had no chance against something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow the way those guys were thinking. Then I will be next. Next is Rika-chan, is it? What can you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Rena. Seeing that, both Mion and Satoko gasped. Oh no! Too late. Rika-chan tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Rena hurried over to her. Rika-chan, are you alright? Alright? Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made just a single sound. Me. Cute. Going to take you home. I'd completely forgotten that. The plan that I personally had to use. Rena's face was completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her. I'd expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. She's tiny. Shrine maiden. Brink of crying. Meep. It was perfect. A simple trick, transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art. And Kei-chan has a pretty weird definition of art. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rena, who was in full cute mode. Now, Keiichi, can you beat me? That cold smile is frightening, Rika-chan. It must just be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. No, it's not your imagination. Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's going to show her. I also wish to observe the play Keiichi-san will make. Could it be? Is Keiichi also going to give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan. Cute thing. Keiichi-kun, let go. I'll show you something even cuter. So just hold on for now. Huh? Oh? Something if cuter? But it's a bit too crowded here. Let's go back there. Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. I cannot fathom what Keiichi-san could possibly be planning. Kei-chan wouldn't stoop to... No. Would he? Keep on fighting. Yeah. After a bit, I returned. And a bit after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet. There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Rena. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena. What exactly did he do to you? For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her. Oh, it's Mi-chan. Oh. Rena, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do anything to you? No, he didn't do anything strange to me. This is quite severe. Exactly what did Kei-chan show you? Oh, it was so cute. Cute? What did he show you, Rena? Rena let out a really long Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Cute, so cute. In the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko elbows smashed into my face. Huh? Huh? What? Showing Rena something so dirty. You sick pervert. I shall have you beaten into oblivion. Hey, you got it all wrong. A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me. Mi-chan? I'm not sure what's going on, but you've got it all wrong. You see, Keiichi-kun had... It's a fur seal keychain. Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. Eh? He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he doesn't show it to others often because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful. Oh. Oh. This old man thought you meant it was Keiichi's... I'd expect no less from Mion-san. You misconstrue things in the wildest ways. They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by the flash of a camera. Hey guys, you all seem energetic as usual. It was Tomitaki-san. As I lay crumpled on the floor, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene. It's a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission. That's right. At least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Satoko dug her heel into me. Good evening. Ah, you're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos? Yes, thanks for asking. I got plenty of good shots. Tonight's the last we can see of old Tomitaki-sama, isn't it? It's such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. It's just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year. Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow, after all. That's true. It'll be another 6 months, until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitaki-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitaki-san? In Hinamizawa. Tomitaki-san was speechless. It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational sports. There might not really be anything really here, but, you know, everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitaki-san was also well aware. So Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan, none of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally, I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place is probably... Tomitaki-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi-kun, Mion-chan and Rena-chan, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitaki-san's smile was so slight it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Rena. Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice. The background clamor of the festival returned. We won't be seeing him for a while, after all. We need to make sure Tomitaki-san also enjoys tonight. When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true. I think I'll do just that. Now? Hey, Mi-chan. How about it? Can we let Tomitaki-san in on our club activities? That's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mian had a snobbish look on her face. One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see. Come on, Mi-chan. Just for today. Don't be mean. Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen. Oh, hey. Now then. I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime, will be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult. Can you keep up with us, young'uns? Tomitaki-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins. I, Mian Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitake's entry into our club. Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes, often, they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you not single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity. We'll leave you with nothing, and beat you into the depths of hell. So, it's a club where we play games together. Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright, just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Tomitaki-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it. Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitaki-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was, Just don't lose. Rena was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I tousled Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment. I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitake-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man calling out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here? Little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you've brought quite a crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun. The rules are simple. 3 shots. The winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. There it is. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize at the stall, it went without question. It wasn't the one. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one, was it? Oh, a teddy bear. Cute. Rena was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if it hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiichi-san. I figured you would see through the scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event. Knocking that bear down ensures a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying, that'd be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitake-san's take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. Young Ken, boom. After a couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first. I didn't want to end up first. Ah, well. I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun. Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked it over intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Okay. This gun is brand new, isn't it? No faults? Not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. You don't shoot like that. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire. Flop. 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 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers. So gay. That was quite good. Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess. Amazing, Mi-chan. 3. Your accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. Having some internet spikes. Bear with it. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with very high return on investment. Who's up next? Satoko. Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize. She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, said Toko. Such a bold move. The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first. Good luck, Satoko-chan. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. Bah, these bullets are too light. The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head, or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm. I have to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me. She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh, and internet's selecting up. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing. A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went poof as it tapped down lightly on Satoko. She appeared to be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent. I'll allow you to take the bear, Rena-san. I pray for your victory. Okay. Thanks so much, Satoko-chan. Oh, Mr. Bear, so cute. Rena was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Rena, but she said that bear was cute. I wonder how Rena-chan will do. I hope she's able to hit it at least once. You're underestimating Rena, Tomitake-san. It's Rena, you know? It's Ryugu, you know? If it was to get that teddy bear. Tomitake-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryu could do it. It's shaking. Oh, cute. Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rena couldn't lose. Not bad, Rena-san. The less collected you become, the stronger you get. Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before. But it might not be possible. You never know. With Rena-chan's skill, it might be. While Tomitake-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. The crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt. Oh, Mr. Bear, take him home. Oh. She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rena. This is for you, little lady. Huh? You're giving this to me? Oh. The gods wouldn't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red, and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your cute mode really surprised me. No, I really wanted Mr. Bear. Oh. It was easy to see that I only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it, give it to you. What? Alright, checking something over here. Tomitake-san had stolen the words right out of my mouth. Okay, please, Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san, good luck. Damn you, old man Tomitake. Stealing the good parts for yourself. A small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration. You keep on fighting too, Keiichi, okay? Tomitake-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered his rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomitake-san is aiming for... Pop! The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking, so Tomitake-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before, but that was all. It still didn't fall over. Too bad. All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work. It seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy. That was it. It meant Tomitake-san had no spoils of war. So both Kei-chan and Rika-chan can just shoot down a sure, easy prize and avoid being dead last. Avoid being a loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that. It's your turn next, Keiichi-kun. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitake-san. If I took the ruthless route, as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomitake-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Rena. Huh? Huh? What? Promise? What? To shoot down that bear, then give it to Rena. That one. You mean how? The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Cool, Oni-chan, show us what you got. That's not it. Fine, men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Keiji-chan surely talks the talk. But how do you actually intend to bring down the bear? Rena and Tomitake-san's shots didn't make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult. Keiichi-kun. If only there was some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to power more power this way from each hit. Good luck, Keiichi-kun. After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy. 2 more rifles. The crowd murmured amongst themselves. I wonder what Keiichi-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. I get it. Nice thinking, Kei-chan. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what was making the most time was reloading the shot. That's right. Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other... Tomitake-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur, and then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now. So world. That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. It felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets. Hit it. And knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second. The third. The bear swayed hard. And then... Oh! Yeah! The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over. You got me. Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. I didn't do all by myself. Everyone hit it. Those small bits together brought it down. The trophy belongs to all of us. Right. This is from all of us working together. Me didn't hit it a single time. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena. Here. This is for me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless. I can't, Keiichi-kun. This is everyone's after all. In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Rena. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time, she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful. You see, thanks a lot. Keiichi-kun, thanks so much. Rena dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything here. But there are a lot of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. From the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drum sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. I'll be going off ahead then. Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then, everyone. See you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd. I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off? Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah? Huh? Where's Rena? What are you doing? Keiichi-kun, Kei-chan, save me! Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear. So I'll leave Rena in your care, Kei-chan. I have my hands full taking care of Satoko. Who would want to be looked after by you, Mion-san? Please don't pull on my arm. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar. Hi hi! Konnichiwa! Ohayou gozaimasu. Keiichi-kun, not there, don't grab me there! Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Rena's hand and dashed that for Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiji Maebara," in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. Hey, it stabilized. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. And it went back down. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and futons. Keiichi-san? Rena-san? We're over here. Satoko waved her hand from the front row. Sorry. Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they'd saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rena? You punk. So that was what your plan was. Instead of replying, Mian gave us a perverse grin. Now was it, Rena? Was Kei-chan's hand bigger than you thought it would be? Rena turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mian on the ground with a welt on her face. Mian, when were you hit? Between the ha and O of her hell, I think. Rena, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment. I didn't hit her. Whatever. Thump. The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd. You must all be quiet. It's beginning. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as the Shrine Maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera. What's the big thing Rika-chan is holding? A hoe that's used for this festival. It's a sacred farming tool that only the Shrine Maidens may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out the futons? She's purifying the futons, which sacrificially absorbed winter's illnesses for those using them. So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with a mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. Satoko's hands were sweaty. Whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It felt wrong having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And, well, it's not something just anyone could do. That's true. Shrine Maidens seem to be pure, after all. Mion drove rubble into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Give me 1 second. I really need to fix that phone. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know. The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high, and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichiku. I wondered what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. Ah, but of course. They didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Rena dove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream. Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand, then, waving her hands as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both sides. You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Oh, what's accepted the other day? That was the name of that show. That movie. I've been trying to remember that for a while now. I got a story about that dish. Yeah, maybe. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god? Yes, it's the garden deity of Hinamizawa. It brings about both miracles and curses. So you must be sure to show respect. It sounded like a pretty frightening god. But, well, when in Rome. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then, you let it gently drift away on the stream, and you're done. Together, Rena and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the bad illnesses from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. Higurashi, when they cry. Welcome to Hinamizawa. Oh shit. At first, I was a bit anxious. Hurting someone was something I never even considered. Nevertheless, the anxiety then gave place to loneliness, doubt, and more. And then, that wicked murderous intent eventually took control of my mind. The boy took the first step towards an unrecoverable daily life, not even realizing that he was walking into the abyss. Onikakushi. A tragedy born from the desire to believe. Are those tears of repentance or tears of resentment? Sorry, my internet is really acting up. And I think I'm actually going to call it now before things start getting really bad. They already kind of did, but shit, that was actually an important part that was just lagged out. Alright, so I'm going to quit it here because my internet is acting really weird. And it's unpredictable. Sorry about that. Well, maybe seems stable enough. Maybe I'll go for an actual break point. We'll give it a second chance. Bear with me. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. Nope. It's dying off. We're leaving. It's not gonna stay. So yeah, but you guys have a good one. I'm gonna try and figure out if I can fix this for next time. But we're gonna be doing some art for tomorrow. Still gotta figure out what specifically, but